It's presented, so that's what we want. So, a different link that each week.
Yeah, because it's a new webinar. It should be that. I don't understand why it works then, right? Until we kind of like do it. It's something's like this, isn't it? Why don't we go to Ustream? Do both. See, because it'll work either way, really. That's live too. So there's two feeds. Hey guys, you got anybody that's not local on that feed? I have no idea why that's not working. It's funny to me, like, because we have it all set up, it's all ready to go, do the exact same thing as last time, and it's not working. So, okay, where was I? Huh? 15 points. 35. So you want the eye repair kit deal? There you go. So do a second. Do a second.
Who's tied? 18?
You know, picture bottle, towel, Who's third? Who's third? Kristen?
Nevitt.
Nevitt doesn't count. All right, let's go again for Matt and Julian tonight. Sarah and Garth are showing up an hour every time and helping with the technology.
Thanks,
Okay,
Scott.
we're going to get right into it. Actually, we're not. I'm all thrown off. Okay, I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about the success system because I have a feeling I am not doing a good enough job explaining to you the importance of this right here, possibly. Okay, because we've actually had 2 large events since this whole school has started. And Friday night, the second largest distributor in all of Advocare was actually in West Des Moines. Okay, and I took more notes that night than I had in a long time. Okay, and so I'm going to say a few things that might be slightly painful if you weren't there. Okay, but you have to understand that I'm coming from a really good place. I'm coming from a place that I love each one of you. I love your family. I love this team, and I have to help you understand so you can get to where you want to go. Because if that why was really strong enough that we talked about last week, I promise you would have been there and brought people. Because we don't do this that often. We do it a couple of times a month, maybe. Okay? And I want to tell you a little bit about some of these folks over here, too. Because Nick, down in New Orleans, for 2 years straight, he was the only one that ever went to events in New Orleans. In fact, he was the event for about 2 years. There was no one else doing Advocare in New Orleans. Right? The Ruby distributor. Okay? There's a direct correlation between showing up to stuff and coming and getting immersed in the culture and what your pin level is going to be and what your freedom looks like. Matt and Julie, they're at 90% of stuff. Okay, gold distributors. Nevitt rarely ever misses any meetings. Okay, and he hasn't for the last 3.5 years. When we first got going, we drove 2 hours to see something like that night, because we were hungry and we had some pain in life. Okay, our why was strong enough to drive us to get to those things. Sarah and Darla never miss an event. They're not to where they want to be, but that's why they were there. Okay, so we've got to put an importance on large events. And I got an analogy given to me yesterday where I was. Okay, and I think this might help make it a little more sense to you. So if my little daughter comes up to me and says, "Hey, Dad, tell me about playing baseball," I'm going to be like, I can sit down and I can tell her every single thing I know about baseball. But here's what's better about something better I could do to help her understand baseball. I could wait to have that conversation, and I could take her down to Sec Taylor Stadium, or Principal Park now, right? I could take her to the game. I could let her smell the hot dogs. I could let her smell the popcorn. I could let her get and see in the warm-ups. Okay? I can let her start to see all the different things that are happening in a baseball game, and then guess what happens? She starts to ask questions. She starts to why is he doing that? Why is that happening? You know, why is this person doing that? And she gets immersed in the culture, and she starts to ask questions and starts to know more. Right? Now I could have told her all day long about a baseball game. But because I showed her the game and I showed her the culture of the game, she would start to get it more, right? Does that make sense? Does that relate to you in a large event and why they're so important? The second largest distributor out of all of Advocare was in our backyard. I want to learn from that guy. He's going to make $2 million this year. If I could just do half of that, I'd be awesome, you know? You can do 10% of that. Some of you guys, you would never have to work again, right? But you have to be hungry enough and you have to show up and bring people to those events. It's not just for you. You know, the reason why Sarah and Darla can show up because they want to get fed. They're hungry. They have pain. Okay? Large events is where it's at. It's where it's at. Somebody else does the work for you when you're there every single time. Okay? I always thought, man, if I could just get somebody in the room to see Joe Hadachek talk, or just get somebody in the room to see Mark Lightgib talk, or whoever's coming, if I could just get somebody in the room, pick them up, bring them, they'll start to understand the culture, they'll ask questions, and I've got a 90% better shot of them joining our team if they get to that event. Because somebody else is doing the work. That make sense? I hope you took that the right way, because I'm trying to help you get to where you want to go. All right? Those should be an absolute priority. we have to keep our priorities in line. Faith, family, job, advocate. I totally get it. Totally get it. Right? If you want to have advocate maybe replace that job or do something, we've got to start to work these into our family calendar. Okay? So we're going to roll into more of the meat and potatoes tonight, the pay plan, and how to talk about that and share with people. And we're going to educate you tonight on knowing the game plan on how to get to where you want to go. Okay, I'm going to share a lot about that. We're going to do whiteboards a lot, so make sure you're ready to take notes. Matt is going to do advisor training first. He's going to talk about the conversation, on how we have the advisor, and how to work towards the advisor. So Mr. Slampa, take it away, my friend. Thank you. You need this.
For advisor, things I'm going to touch on tonight, the conversation between you and a prospect or a brand new person looks like, the investment and working towards. So I'm going to run you guys through very quickly an advisor conversation that I had last week with a member here at the gym. It's someone who was kind of on my chicken list, someone who I thought, wow, I'd really like to get them involved in advocate, but I don't really know how to go about doing it so I don't mess this up. Okay, so we still mess up all the time with advocate. So, what I did, the very first thing is this question, just like you guys have been doing. Those point sheets that you guys are doing, if you stick around, a year from now you're going to look at that point sheet, and hopefully every single person on that sheet will have contacted you back or they were involved. This is Harvard. Very next thing, she asked about the challenge. Next question. She asked about the challenge. Okay, she's like, so what's all this stuff? What's this 24-day challenge about? I said, you know what? A lot of people here at the gym do this. My friend Kristen is awesome at helping me choose products for new people here. Okay, so I'm a guy. I like to lift weights. You're a lady. We probably don't have the same goals. So I'd like to get you on a phone call with her so she can help us choose which products are right. She doesn't have to know that the 24-day challenge is the same thing that every single one of us take. And I said, you and I have different goals. Your goals are probably a lot more similar to hers. Got them on call, question. Okay? Kristen did a great job of setting up a phone call. Okay? Talked about different discount opportunities. They talked about their income story. Friday, on the way home, I called her up. And I said, hey Laurel, when you were talking to Kristen, did she explain to you about the different discount options? She's like, yeah. I said, she told you about what 40% looked like? She's like, well, she touched on it, but she said to ask you if I had questions. I said, well, would you like to see how we get the 40% discount now? She's like, yeah, sure. So that was a very comfortable transition into the advisor conversation. And the reason I feel that it was comfortable is because I went through the steps correctly. Okay? I followed through these steps the way they're supposed to be done. There's an exercise that we do here at the gym every so often called the Turkish get-up. Okay? It's a very step-by-step approach. It's a very advanced exercise. And if anyone ever messes up in that exercise and they're getting frustrated, I backtrack one step and I say, this is what you're doing wrong. If you're having trouble at any point, the previous step, you missed something. Okay? So when we look at having the advisor conversation, okay, if I'm having trouble initiating that advisor conversation with someone, usually I didn't do a three-way call, or usually I didn't spark them up. I missed a step with that person. Okay? So if you're having trouble with the advisor conversation, there's a million ways you can do it. But if it seems uneasy or if you're nervous about it, stick to the steps and it will fall into place pretty much on its own. Okay? So I kind of explained to you the way that we have the advisor conversation. There's a lot of different ways, but I'm going to have you guys go through something. I'm going to get you involved real quick, just repeating after me. Advisor.
Advisor
Is the best way.
best way.
Or advisor is
Is
the best way.
the best way.
Are you confident that advisor is the best way? I mean, are you? When you talk to somebody, convey that? Because yes, it is the biggest investment. And that's a fact. You're talking to someone now about $2,100 as opposed to $79. but it is the best way. It's a statement, not a question. Okay? In the advisor conversation with someone, $2,100 for $3,000. Okay? Hey, you want $3,000 on products? I'll get it to you for $2,100. Hey, you want a car for $10,000? I can sell it to you for $6,000. Want to buy a house for $100,000? I can sell it to you for $50,000. Okay. There's a built-in discount. Also means there's a built-in profit. Okay. So the advisor conversation, you are trying to get them to $3,000. 40% discount. 5 streams of income. Okay. Advisor in the back of your Impact magazine, $3,000 in volume, gets you a 40% discount or profit and 5 streams of income. Is everybody pretty clear on that? Any questions on what advisor means? Okay. The advisor conversation, you're simply laying out what this right here looks like. Okay. So the investment, going into what this investment looks like, I kind of just explained it a little bit ago, but you are investing, that's an important word. We do not say the advisor costs $2,100, okay? Because cost seems negative to me. I mean, hey, this is a cost. Your gym membership costs, or your gym membership you're investing. Okay? Cost and invest. Okay? You never hear in the financial industry, hey, you're going to make a financial investment. It's never you're going to make a financial cost. Okay? You're investing in this. So it's not a cost, it's an investment. For a discount, 10%. This is your breakdown right here. Okay? The investment, your advisor investment, 40%, $3,000. Now, as we go in and talk to people about the different ways to invest, a lot of people ask about working towards advisor, okay? And that's the conversation that kind of makes us a little bit uneasy. And I've had that conversation quite a few times. I don't have the money to go all in. Okay? I don't have $2,100 sitting around to just dump into this. So our first question that we ask with that is, if you can't do that, what can you do? Okay? Some people immediately fall back on this. It's like, well, I can't do the whole $2,100. So we're like, well, it's okay. We can just do this right here. Okay, we can just start right here. $500 and get you into advisor qualification. But we started finding out that we were deciding for them. And a couple of people, I said, well, what can you do? Without even explaining this, I said, if you can't do $2,100, what can you do? Well, maybe like $1,000 right now. I'm like, great. Okay. We have $1,000. I said, that gets us almost halfway there. We have $1,000 to invest. Okay. Then it doesn't seem like such a huge milestone. We only got $1,100 to go. Maybe we can help them work their way towards that. Okay. So by not just saying and deciding for them on this, we work towards from what you can do. What can you do right now? Okay. Looking at what we call the $500 game, so the factory, advisor factory. If someone cannot, it's either a won't or a can't. If someone cannot do the whole investment, we go into what we call the advisor factory. And if you've never explained this to someone, these are notes that you might want to take, because this is what we draw out for people. 3 pay periods. It's not 3 months. It's not 3 weeks. It's not 3 orders. It's 3 pay periods. Okay? Most of the time, the pay period is 2 weeks. Right now, we're in a 3-week pay period. Okay? So, whatever this is, first thing we like to explain is at the end of our 3 pay periods, we have to have $3,000 retail. That's the end of the equation. Equals sign $3,000. The other stipulation is we cannot go below $500. Okay? $3,000 as an end result, we cannot go below $500. So, within these 2 pay periods, if we're trying to equal $3,000, if we're working towards our 40% or working towards our advisor, I start throwing in numbers and say, give me a number more than 500. 1100. Okay. $1,100 retail. Cool. Let's fill in the next column. 200. It has to be at least 500. Okay. You're like, oh, okay, well, 500 then. 500. Cool. $1,600. This plus this blank equals 3,000. Fill in the blank. Okay. It's very straightforward. And I tell people, I want to make sure you're crystal clear on this concept, because you don't want to get a call on Wednesday morning when someone's asking how they get to advisor and they just missed their $500 mark. It was $495, and that's happening. Mostly because it was our fault, because we didn't make sure that they were aware of that. We just kind of assumed. Okay? So if you are working towards advisor, 3 pay periods, end result is 3,000, cannot go below 500. Okay? And we can't skip this, okay? We can't have 11,000 and then, or 1,100 and 1,900 and nothing in the middle. Okay? It has to be 3 consecutive pay periods, 500 at least in each one. Okay? Some people, they say, this is what I did right here. It was a Tuesday night. I could do, I think it was 800. And the very next pay period, I'm like, wow, I'm wasting time. Okay? I filled the rest right here. We didn't even need a 3rd pay period. Okay? So there's a number of ways. $3,000. Okay, you gotta remember that. Can't go below 500. This is your limit. The best way, and this is the last thing I'll talk about before I turn it back over to Scott, unless you have questions. The best way, advisor is the best way, working there fast. I just had a conversation today with someone, and she said, you know, today, or I realized last week after I got to advisor that my volume doesn't have to be as much, and now I make more. Now that I have 40%. I only have to sell $500 worth of stuff, and I make more money than if I sell $700 worth of stuff before. Okay? So yeah, we want you to get to this as fast as you can, because that is the potential to make the most money. Okay? Income, revenue, 5 streams. Scott's touching tonight on overrides and leadership. Some of those things you cannot get unless you are a qualified advisor with a 40% discount. Get in there as fast as possible. If you are not confident that advisor as fast as possible, if you're not confident that that is true, then you need to talk with whoever introduced you to Advocare and get to the point where you believe that. Because people will pick it up, they'll sense it in the voice that you're kind of shaky on. So, do you guys have any questions on how to bring it up with someone? I mean, what the investment looks like? Do you have questions? Questions?
So these are conversations that we should be having, not a three-way call.
No, I think every one of you has this case right now that you need to be having you should be putting them in the system through it and doing this, having somebody else have this conversation for you right now. So if it's your prospect, Katie, I would be having this conversation with them. Now, you have Tiffany going, right? You should be able to have this conversation with Tiffany at this point. Fair enough? That makes sense? Cody can have this conversation with somebody. I mean, a lot of you can have this conversation with somebody. Okay? Matt gave you great verbiage tonight, great wording, stuff like that.
Even those people that want to just get to 40% because they want to take products, they don't really want to do the business side, still plug them into the system even though we've explained this to them, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm going to hang out on this baseball theme for a lot tonight. If you just invite them to the culture and helping them hear more, you're going to be more successful. Right? You just need to introduce them. You just invite them. Hey, listen, I know you want to get 40% off for life. I want to just introduce you to my friend Billy Bob, because Billy Bob, he knows this just as well too, and I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Now, that's how I position it. I to this day I don't have really good value conversation with somebody. For me personally, if I'm recruiting somebody personally, I'll get Stephen Whitwell on the phone. Stephen Whitwell is a sales director at Advocare. They hey, Stephen, I need 3-way phone call. Here's what we're talking about. Advisor. So he does that, and then I send them the advisor movie as a follow-up. What do you want to do? Right? I still want to do it. I don't care if it's product or business. Advisormovie.com. Y'all know that one? You use that one? Advisormovie.com is Ace Supreme. Ace Supreme used to be a name for the product too. Yes, ma'am.
What if the volume is at like 25% and time goes by, and then how do you come back into that advisor conversation?
When they're ready to talk about a higher discount, they'll just do the same thing, because if they're at 25% and a couple periods have gone by, they're gonna have to start over anyways. If they've already had that talk, then I'd probably send them there. So here's how you do it. Again, it's an art, not a science, so whatever you think is best for that person. In the back of your mind, knowing that the success system is the very best in one situation. Questions? Okay, so you're an advisor. Here's something as a team we all need to focus on a heck of a lot more. We got any rookie bonus earners in here? You guys do? That's right. Awesome.
Rock did.
Rock got us a rookie advisor, or his rookie bonus. Okay. I think this is a game changer, and we've all talked about putting more focus on this because we certainly need to. So we need to spend some time on this tonight, because the rookie bonus, if you chase this, could be the fastest way you're going to get silver. Just chase the rookie bonus, okay? And helping people earn those as quickly as possible. Mr. Reggio has delightfully said that he would show up and train you on the rookie bonus program.
Awesome. For those of you who don't know, Nick Reggio, new to the area, very happy to be here. The rookie bonus is one of these things that our company changed about a year ago, coming up on a year. And it has been awesome for the teams that have taken advantage of it. As a whole, the formation probably hasn't done as well across the board as other teams have. The ones that are growing, and you see pins popping, even within our team, those are the ones typically that the rookie bonuses are happening. So obviously this is structured perfectly tonight. Advisors first. You become an advisor. The very next, so let's say you became advisor today. Whenever the Tuesday of that period ends, the very next Wednesday is the first day of the rookie bonus eligibility. And the common number for the rookie bonus is 3. So if you can just remember 3, pretty much have the rookie bonus, most of the rookie bonus part down pat. Something that I'm going to go back to, and I'm just going to kind of ballpark it you. It's $1,500 in 6 weeks. I'll tell you how to help team members get that, because everybody in here is already advised. So the first step for the rookie bonus is you have to have 3 or more new distributors directly below you. So if you have 1 and they happen to sign up 2, you still have 1. So just make sure that we know that you have to go 3 wide directly that you have introduced or you have sponsored to the business. So that's the first of the 3. I guess I could have prefaced it with, you have a total amount of time of 3 periods. Typically we would say that's 6 weeks. Just so happens right now we're in the middle of a 3-week period, so very rarely, but occasionally they'll have 7 weeks to have that additional, but we'll stick to the most common. So you have 3 periods total to get that. So 3 new distributors, 3 cumulative periods or less. I know Jeff Schultz still probably have the rest of the recent information. It is possible to be done in just a few days, but we're kind of going over what you gotta do. So you have 3 distributors, 3 periods, and an accumulated PGV or volume of 3,000 or more from those 3. So let's just say you got to advisor and you already had 2 or 3 people within your organization. Their PGV does not count. Their volume does not count towards your rookie bonus. So it has to be from these 3 people. There is a report out there that I believe all of us have access to within your microsite to track this, which is awesome. Because I think the biggest thing about this level of training in Silver School is for us to teach you how to teach others and to be on top of things. The 495 orders frustrate me more than anything. The next thing, because I've never had a rookie bonus on within my organization. I hate it. I hate admitting it. I thought about, do I say that or do I not? But I don't. Because I'm honest and I'm transparent. But we're going to have one soon. And the person the closest in my organization had 3 people, just didn't have the volume. It's fairly close to the volume. So we're going to go back to the 1,506 weeks. This is, in my opinion, the best way to get your new team members or even existing team members. You asked about if somebody's at 25%. You asked about if somebody doesn't want to sell, they just want a discount on their products. No one in Advocare, except for maybe the very random exceptions, comes in Advocare and says, I want to sell vitamins for a living. I did. I know he did. None of us did. But when you're around the baseball game, when you're around the culture, you start to want to go. So somebody could be involved in Advocare right now for 2, 3, 4 years, 25, 30%, even 20%, and they're still going to be eligible for this. So going back through the $1,500, when somebody becomes an advisor, you have the earnings potential of $900 worth of profit. So $2,100 that Matt talked about, $3,000 worth of product, doing the math. Spend $2,100, $900 in profit. You're gonna probably eat or drink 200 of it. And from the size of your family. As someone with 6 just laughed. So we're going to put an estimate of $700 getting to advisor as far as profit. So you already have 700 now.
Please write dark, if you would.
Okay. Is what's up there okay, or should I write?
The 700 is a light. Details, buddy.
Hey, look, I love it.
Attention to details.
So what to do, I'm coaching now. So that's your initial 700. The next piece is when somebody goes to advisor. Let's say you have one person put in the success system, happen to get them in front of your sponsor, talk about advisor, they have a purpose, they have a reason, they see the big picture, they go to advisor. You're gonna make $300.
Yeah.
You're gonna make $300 off of them going to advisor. You're at 40%, they're at 30% as far as that order, so there's $300 worth of volume. So you have your $3,000 worth of volume. The next piece that you have to get is 2 new distributors. Obviously, that's probably the easy part. So once that comes in, once you put those people within the system as well, that's where your $1,500 is coming from. I know it's much easier said than done, but I promise the people that are using the system are the ones that are going to have team members do this. And the company restructured our bonus system for every single person in Advocare. This is possible. Every single one. There's no excuses. There's no reasons that this cannot be earned or achieved by anyone that's out there. What would you guys do with your $500? If you don't mind me asking. Awesome. What would you do with $500? We've all got different reasons. Talked about it, sounds like last time, why. That's where it's probably gonna go to for me and surely some of my kids. I got 3 little girls, I got 2 on cheap. Buy group ones, that's the cheapest way right now. So, any questions on this?
Yeah, this is what I would do right now is when you're showing the payment and talking about advisor, this is the next conversation is, hey, did you know once you get to advisor, you have the rookie bonus available to you? Okay? It's $500. We're going to help you earn that. Right? Now you can't do that for them. We've got to meet people, we got to teach the system, and nothing changes. But that's the next conversation, is rookie bonus. Okay? So you can do this as fast or as slow as you want. Then you say to them, hey, what would you do with the $500? They've already got an idea what they're going to do with it. Right? So this is the, if you're going for a new pin too, like let's say you're already silver and you're going for gold or 3-star gold, this would be a great way to set up those couple of legs. You have somebody, an advisor on each leg, and Matt and I had a conversation tonight that he's looking to hit 3-star gold tonight for this period, right? So he's got 2 advisors and those 2 other legs that, or you got 2 separate legs with 2 separate advisors, right? This is the best way to pin 3-star gold the next period is help those people earn that rookie bonus as fast as possible. It doesn't have to take 6 weeks, it can take 3 days. I helped Jeff Schulte earn it in 3 days because he put me in front of 4 people. One of them was an advisor, the other 2 signed up, and boom, you got $500 next week. Cool. Questions? An awesome deal. All right, so Nevin and I are going to go over just most common objections that you hear out there. If you have some that we don't cover, let us know, and we'll talk about it. Okay? All right, Mr. Nevin, is advocate pyramid scheme, pyramid deal. I'm not doing a pyramid deal.
What's a pyramid?
Well, you make money off people. Get over here.
Oh, sorry.
You make money off people and sign friends and family up, and they make money off them. And
I understand. Advocate's not a pyramid. Because first of all, pyramids are illegal. And so, we would not be operating a company, nor would we be asking you to be involved in something that's illegal here. Okay. Second of all, is advocate direct sales? Absolutely. Because I think direct sales is the best possibility for the average person to have above average results. And so, that's typically how I answer.
Okay. I have people name a pyramid scheme. But, tell me more. They can't, they don't really know because that's just such a cliche thing to say anymore. But really, if you're below the age of 35, you probably don't even know what one was because they haven't been around that long, right? It's been so long that somebody can't even name something like that. Okay, so it's just a lack of education. I was talking about kind of turning back on them a little bit. I remember Darla in the beginning. We had this talk, and I'm like, well, Darla, where do you work? And she works at a corporate America place, right? She's pretty high up. I'm like, well, can you make more than, you're not the CEO, right?
Nope, I'm not.
So can you make more than the person above you?
Nope.
No? What about the person above them?
Nope.
Is that the CEO?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when I worked at Wells, right, I was a assistant manager of a branch. There was a manager, never made more than him. I sold way more than he did. The manager never made more than the district manager, ever. And we were doing all the work. The guy above him was a guy we saw once a year, and none of us made more combined than what he did, right? I could keep going for like 7 more up the line, okay? Which one's a pyramid? I mean, in Advocare, we work for you, right? I mean, if, I am Megan and John's sponsor. I work for them. They don't work for me. It's their job to put me to work, right? And here's the other thing.
Yes, sir.
Have you made more money than the person that you sued? It's,
Yeah, I mean, I would say that if you were, yes, I make more than the person, every person above me. In this company, I do. Every single one of them. Probably combined. So that usually helps people be quiet. So you can use that one, right?
Yeah, most people are asking it just because they just don't understand. You know, they've heard a lot of hearsay, over the years, and they've had it broke out cold talking about all the pyramid schemes every single time, something comes along their way that's direct sales. So, it'd be empathetic in a way to not get into an argument about it, because nobody's going to win at that point. Use examples, ask questions. That's why my first question was, well, what's a pyramid scheme? Oh, we talked about something that is illegal. Oh, no, why would I even do that? So
Stick your bulletproof shield to one Drew Brees. There's a lot of money, there's a lot of lawyers, okay? They're checking this out. The U.S. Air Force is involved with what we do, so our government. Do you think that Union Wellness Standard will be involved in a pyramid scheme?
NCAA, which is the hardest sports organization, if you will, to be a sponsor in. So
Look at our Sports Advisory Council, a lot of those people involved. Right? Questions? Is that helpful? Cool. Man, Advocare, so saturated. Every person I know does Advocare.
Yeah. Do we have a lot of brand awareness? Absolutely. But what we heard the other night, this is another reason for going to the events. Mark Leggett said something that I never have thought about before. Advocare specifically has done what they've done to brand the name. Okay, the name of Advocare has grown from a brand perspective bigger than just the supplements. So it's more about how the We Build Champions is more associated with the name of Advocare just as much as the supplement side is. Okay, so that's where that saturation comes in. Who in the last 3 months has bought something that has Under Armour? Okay, in the next 6 months, you're gonna buy something from Under Armour potentially. Okay, is Under Armour a saturated market? So that's what you got to think about is what defines saturation. Is it becoming a household name? Sure, absolutely. But I think it's easier right now to have a conversation about Advocare because so many things have softened it than it was 4 years ago when we got involved. So I always answer that question, well, we had a tremendous opportunity because nowhere in history of Advocare has corporate had commercials on ESPN at the rate that they do right now. We got maybe 2% of the population of the one-off product. What is it? Something like 15 major cities across the U.S. have some exposure that's even worth, noting.
But it's like 25.
Yeah, but still, it's not dominant in major markets. So there's so much room to grow, and that's just on U.S. soil. So we're in a great position.
We've done a really good job of softening this market into one too. So people have heard about Advocare, but they don't know exactly what it is or how to get it yet. That's where you want to come into play, is that you want to, Coke and Pepsi is saturated. Everybody knows Coke and Pepsi, right? That's saturated, but do people still buy it? Well, of course. So you want to be the person to introduce it to somebody, have them registered with you. That's called market share. That's what keeps me fired. I mean, I have lots of things that keep me fired up. But that's one of the reasons is, man, I want market share. Because they're going to buy a product for the rest of their life. And I'd rather be with this team than, somebody else's team. That's just a competitive side of me too. That's not to say we don't want everybody to win, because I think everybody can win in Advocare. But I'd rather be with us, right? Market share. They can break spark forever. Might as well be with you. Price cost is too high. I can go to Walmart and get protein for $5 and get this huge bag. Why would I get muscle meat?
One of the best quality products on the market. The reason that somebody buys a BMW versus a Chevy, or it's a brand. The quality. I own a Chevy. No, no big deal. The reason people have luxury items, okay? The way I look at it is the quality. The quality of the product is what sets Advocare apart. the ingredients that go into it. I don't look at it from a price standpoint. I look at it from the value that you're getting by taking the AppCare products. Now, they're more expensive than potentially some other products you're going to find if you walk into a store, sure. But you're getting a lot more value for what you're paying, and you can also get a discount, which can can bring that price way down significantly through the way AppCare can be offered, which you can't do when you walk into a store. So.
I like to break things down per day, like on the 24-day challenge as well. I think that's really important. We have our Cadillac version that's $11 a day, and we have a regular version that's $7 a day. That's a full retail price. We have a way to get a discount. So most people I know save money doing the 24-day challenge because you get your breakfast, you get your energy, and you get a flood of vitamins that you need every single day for that $7 or $11 a day. Okay? And I don't know about you, but I can't drive up to Starbucks and get a scone and a frappuccino for $7. Right? So it's talking about an exchange process too. You're going to eat less normally on 24-day challenge, right? So we're going to control portions and all that kind of stuff. So you will. Most people I know save money doing a 24-day challenge. Okay, and if it really gets down to that, we have plans that will fit everybody's budget and everybody's goals. So if somebody only has $100, that's it, nothing else, that's all they want to spend, I do a cleanse, I do a spark, I do meal shakes. Right? That's $100 right there. Retail. Cool? Any other ones you guys get a lot of?
Yes. Like that.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm hearing, I must be doing some internet campaign against caffeine. I've heard it's like a bunch this week. Good one. Caffeine. There's a huge misconception with caffeine. Okay? So again, we're educating people. Caffeine's going to jiggle your system enough to deliver everything else that's in something. So in Spark, we're delivering the vitamins, the good vitamins and nutrients from Spark, or whatever else. I mean, M&S, even metabolic nutrition has a little bit of caffeine that is delivering all those good vitamins, right? Whereas in other products, they're shaking your system enough to deliver a bunch of sugars, a bunch of syrups, a bunch of different things like that. Okay? Even like a coffee, you're delivering a lot of you're shaking your system enough to like stuff from the beans, residue, things like that from the cocoa bean, stuff like that. And here's the deal, I know people are sensitive to it. If you're one of those people that are super sensitive to caffeine, you just can't get over it, guess what? We have Slim, caffeine-free, we have V16, we have Biocharge. All three of those can help you from an energy standpoint and provide value in what you're looking for. So,
I always ask a question back to them. There's so much stuff out there now on the internet people read, they don't even know why they believe something. They might have read something somewhere, and now they're the anti-caffeine. They have no idea why they're even anti-caffeine. You'd be like, well, what is it about caffeine that concerns you? And then they might rattle off something, or they might even remember. So just dig deeper, ask questions.
What else?
People have died from sucralose, haven't they?
Huh?
People
Sucralose use, people die.
have died from sucralose.
Is everybody here is successful?
Yeah.
Okay. Katie, you're good with it because you got some dietary background, so do we have to cover that one? Because everybody heard that it's explosive. There's a lot of it. Go back to your notes. Let's talk about that one in your notes. Yes, John?
That was the same one I had, I remember two people, and I was.
Yeah, that's a lot. There's a lot of propaganda built around sweeteners, and I think you can come from so many different resources. You have no idea where they've read it, why it's out there. In the research, which we have to fall back on, I would say, hey, the research tells me a different story. So I choose to believe the docs and the 270 years of experience that they have to know that if it was really that bad, that big of a deal, then it would be gone in a heartbeat. So
We actually have a pharmacist on our team too that she said, this is early on when we started to get going. She was like, that's such a small amount that it won't even absorb in your system. So So for somebody to be concerned from that standpoint, I mean, come on, that's one of the harms too. So all kinds of ways to get around that question. And there's no need to avoid it. I'd like to buy a shirt that says I love Supergirls on it.
It's never.
That's me.
I had one, actually, the other day I went to a workout class and they had a lady that was teaching a girl has that someone had written about GMOs. I don't even know what it is. But saying that that's in a lot of our products and that we might get that thrown at us, so.
Isn't that the question we just had, we got from Dr. Hartman, GMOs?
Yeah, they addressed that, so that's cool.
What is it anyway? That,
Genetically modified organisms?
okay.
Yeah, no.
Because then I had a friend that put a box of her Spark on and said, only 2.5 hours of sleep last night. So excited to take this with her sister. Some big article about GMOs was there. This is healthy, should you take it? I can't respond because I didn't know what to say.
I would go back to the second report, just go
Yeah.
for shield.
Okay.
There's so much to back up. I mean, that
Well, yours is hormones.
it's not proven that at this point that's, I mean, a lot of things have been modified. Now, all the food we eat from currently, we're not in their original, they have evolved from the state they were, hundreds of years ago. So it's a tough argument, especially from a nutritional supplementation standpoint, so.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to get one you want to cover?
And I think the biggest point too, when questions are asked, if you're not comfortable with it, put them back in the system. Seriously, until you're off, because the best way that I learned was listening and do it. That's it. The best way one of my team members learned was listening and me do it. So worst case, I mean, this is a great training atmosphere, but if we always just revert back, we can talk all day about how to do it, but if you're not comfortable yet, you don't say advisor is the best way if you're not comfortable with it.
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, from the standpoint of research, Dr. Carl Keene, there's nobody that's done more research in the world of nutrition than him. And if it was that big of a deal, he would have already brought it to the table. So, that's where you fall back on that bulletproof shield. Because people just want to debate. That's just a debate question. They want 5 people to come on and tell them how they're wrong so they can just hash it out all day and work on Facebook, because they're bored or whatever. There's no reason you can go there.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Can you finish, we keep saying advisor is the best way, but how would you finish that when you're talking? Okay.
You save money, yeah, okay, advisor's the best way, here's why. Because you save money on shipping, right? You're giving a little break on that. You get the highest discount right away, okay? You open up the vault of how we get paid in Advocare you open up the treasure chest to get paid 5 ways, okay? And we're a monkey see, monkey do company. If this is what you do, and we have this conversation with somebody else that we're going to talk to about this, they're always going to look back at you and say, what did you do? It happens every time. So it's a monkey see, monkey do deal too. So you want to go, is this the way you'd like to do it? Set the tone, you only got one advisor chance, or you want to work towards it this way. And here's the thing, you got to make sure that I think it's important to present both options. I don't want everybody ever come back to me and say, you know what, I could have done it this way, this was better for my family, and you know what? And it's a gut thing too. I mean, you want to make sure, again, I think it's best that if you know somebody there's no way that this is a good idea for them, then let's work them to advise them. You know what I mean? It's what's in the best interest of that person, not what's in the best interest of me and starring a new leg or something like that, right? That doesn't set the tone well ever, okay? But I do believe that getting to advisor is the very best way. I think it's somebody's training program too. You get 8 boxes show up on your doorstep, that's training program, right?
Yeah, the whole order shipped for $75. It costs you $750 just to get a box of Spark. So that you can have 3,000 worth of product at your doorstep for $75. If you were just to order one lone box of Spark, it's going to cost $750 to get there. So there's a ton of value in making that decision.
You always have that conversation with a lot of strength too, because at the end of the day, there's no risk. They can send it back to the company and get all their money back. There's none. There's no risk.
And I always ask people, what type of person are you? Are you a person that gets motivated by seeing where you want to be, or are you a person that's motivated when something's right in front of you, you've got to go? Okay, if the product's sitting there staring you in the face, are you gonna take action faster that way? Or are you, I'm just gonna earn my way to it, once I get my mind set to something, I'm gonna go no matter what. So ask what kind of person they are. You know, I know we've had a couple of people that have just sat here and spun their wheels for months and months and months, and then we finally had some strength in that conversation. They ordered it, they had the whole thing sold in like 10 days. Because the boxes were staring at them every day, and they knew, you know, the husband was worried, the wife was worried, but the husband was going to just kill her if these things weren't gone, and they didn't get their money back. You know, there's a sense of urgency. So figure out what type of person they are and what they respond to. So that's better to position them. I've had literally, you know what? You're right. I am the type of person that just, if it's right in front of me, I'll do it. If I just continue to try to sell it online and sell my way to it, I just won't do it. So let's go. All right, let's go. That was what she needed to hear. So, strength on all sides.
Anything else?
I guess a couple that we've approached went back to, they're like, well, we don't want to mess with taxes and doing all that when we sell it. What should we say to them?
Well, then you're just, you know, things don't change, things don't change. Then you're going to participate in how 95% of our country is paid, and then you're also going to participate in how 95% of the taxes are paid in this country. Right?
So they don't want to charge.
Our tax code in this country, from a business perspective, our tax code is set up for small business owners. Period. This puts you in that category. By doing a little extra work, you're going to be in this category that take advantage of the tax code that you've never been able to take advantage of. If somebody's really giving that excuse not to do it, I'd be like, okay, let's have this why conversation again, because really, I mean, you can ride on your cell phone or your house,
Yeah,
go and drive.
that's their issue. They don't want you to keep track of it.
Yeah.
Reason why I brought Kelsey with me tonight to buy 4 waters is
Yeah.
so I can ride them off. You know, I bought her one, and guess what? I can ride mine off too.
That's just an insecurity. That person right there just believes they can't do it. You know, so they're just using something there to just put it out there so they feel comfortable, like, oh, I don't want to mess with taxes. That's just silly. It's pretty easy now. Let's go quick.
I understand it's the fear of the unknown. I get it, but that's to me is the very last thing anybody share was worried about.
Are you going to talk about that? Or, those tax fees? I was real excited to call my husband, like, guess what, I did this. He's like, did you pay taxes out of that? I'm like, well, no, I don't know.
We can dig in on that. I probably won't get into it on tonight, but we can dig in on it. Just, you're gonna get a 1099 from the company. Keep your receipts. Anything you do with that, don't care. Just print them off, or if you go somewhere, you do something and it has anything to do with Advocare. You go have lunch with somebody and you talk, the word Advocare comes up and you guys have a conversation, get the receipt, write the name on the back of it, put it in the folder. Okay? Now, when you get to probably Ruby and above, there's a lot of different things I would talk about with that. And if you're at this spot, right now, all thing you need to worry about is you're going to get 1099, and you need to have, I would keep your receipts. Yes, sir.
You just have a spreadsheet on your computer, something, write the data down. If we want to get too detailed on that, when we get our taxes done, we want to issue on that, and what we really do on our own. We take it to our tax lady and say, all our receipts, we have numbers, and we look up, and on 1099, and it's like, it costs like an extra, maybe $100 to have them, have to do that work for us, but we didn't, we didn't pay, we don't right now.
You guys should be excited to be in that other category. Trust me. I love that category. Any questions? Anything else? I went all over the place. I like it. Okay, let's move on. 5 relationships with Advocare. I know this might sound like you probably know this already, but again, this is trying to help you have educated, to have conversations with people, and I can't assume that you know. If we don't talk about it, I can't assume that you know. Okay? So 5 relationships with it. I don't even write the word. Number 1 is You don't have to do anything. Now, there was a mixer being done by a diamond in Carlisle about 3 months ago. And he was from Wisconsin. He drove down to Carlisle, had somebody there. The Attorney General for Iowa showed up with that mixer. Okay? To hear about products. No other reason. Just want to hear about Advocare. Okay? So we invited him. He showed up. Might want to lose weight or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he needs some energy. So he shows up. The next day, there's a message on, we have a Diamond Team Facebook page of saying, again, how important it is to make sure people know the different relationships with Advocare. Because one of the comments this Attorney General said afterwards when he came up to that Diamond, he said, I really like what you guys do because you've offered 5 relationships tonight. I believe in what you're doing, and this is great. Awesome. We would much rather have that than he has to do something before he leaves, right? So you can't assume where you're at in what that conversation is going to look like. So number 1, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to purchase product. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to do a single thing when you want if you leave here tonight. Okay? Obviously, we don't recommend that. That's not why you're here. But we want to make sure that you know that that is an option. Number 2 is you can be a retail customer. Okay? If you want to buy a 24-day challenge, I've got one here, and we can get that to you tonight, and you can start tomorrow. You're going to pay full price for it. The third way is to be a wholesale customer. You pay $79, you get $60 worth of products, and you get an immediate discount and a website to order that from. Okay? It's just like Sam's Club or Costco. I say that every single time. No different. And I always point out to people a couple of things that our competitors do that I think we excel in, or the reasons why a lot of people say, oh, okay, if you sign up as a distributor, I know we call it a distributor, but you don't have to sell anything, and there's no monthly minimum orders. Because they're thinking that in the back of their head already. It happens every time. There's no auto ship? Nope. Really? No, you just voluntarily go in and order that. You have to understand that I don't know any other direct sales companies that are like that. I don't know one right now that's not auto ship because it props up their compensation plan. Okay? And they front load a lot of stuff like that so they can keep things going. That's not strength. I love the fact that there's $250,000 of Advocare products going through my business every single month, and every single one you have to log in voluntarily and order that. That's powerful, right? You don't have to sell anything. Nobody's going to hound you about selling something because they're already thinking that. So I just get it out of the way right away when I present that option to them. Again, I'm giving you verbiage when you're talking about this with folks, okay? Number 3 is an advisor. This is somebody that wants to get to the top discount level. Maybe maybe they want to take $200 worth of products every single month, and they don't want to build that into their budget. So they share it with 4 or 5 friends or family, and they might get their products paid for. Okay? Or you might get a higher discount. We call that a hobby distributor. Okay? Number 4 is a business, or number 5 is a business builder. I'm off on it.
Yeah.
Number 5 is a business builder. Okay? This is somebody who has got a money mindset. So when he wants to build income, then wants to do something, wants to earn income 5 ways, then wants to follow a proven process that can lead to success for what you are looking for. Okay? Any questions on the 5 relationships? So if I had you come up and explain it, you'd be able to do it, right? Because this is what you need to be doing at your mixers. This is what needs to happen at mixers, or 2-on-1s, okay? It's really important. That's why they put in the back, they go through all, Impact Magazine goes from guiding principles, are products safe, do product work, can I earn income, will you get help, and then how are different ways to be involved. You notice that in the Impact Magazine?
So when people that choose their relationship, they just that one is move from like 2 to 3.
Yeah, that happens all the time. You know, people have move from a 1 to or 2 to a 3 to 3 to 4, 4 to 5. That happens all the time. The more they get around, the more they see, the more they like. The more they want to be involved, the more they're taking, the more that 40% makes sense to them. Right? You know, we kind of talked to Jerry. Is it Jerry? We talked to Jerry the other night. And I just know, and Jerry's killing 24-day challenge, right?
13 pounds first week.
Wow. When are we meeting that guy face to face? Seriously. Okay. This week. I want to meet that guy. Because you already had an interest in these products work on earned income, right? You had an interest in that. We're going to talk advisor with you. That's the next step. Listen, you know, this is working for you. Do you ever see yourself on products? No, I'm going to take this for the rest of my life. Well, for us, it made a lot of sense to get to that 40% level because I knew I was going to take it for. I'd save a lot of money, right? You also said that you could share this with the people if you believe in the products. Where are we at with that? Because we're ready to rock. We need some more leaders, right? So, you're moving through the different stages, right? Any questions? Okay. We're going to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to share with you tonight. I told you I'd do this last time. I'm going to share with you our story. Okay? I'm going to share it from day one to today. I'm going to get real with you. Real with you tonight. And I think it's important. Not because this is about me whatsoever, but I want you to understand that when we paid our $79, it wasn't a golden ticket in there. Okay? I paid the same $79 that you guys paid. The same one. And I want you to hear the process of it, okay? Because it's a process. I want you to understand that I know where you're sitting at. I know exactly where you're at. Also, I want you to have some ammunition as you're talking to people, as you're sharing stories, because this is about stories. Stories sell, facts tell. I know Nick and Darcy's story. I know Matt's story. I know Nevin's story. I know Sarah and Darla's story. I forgot about the rookie bonus for some reason, but I know you guys' story when it comes to that, right? I know this couple there, rookie bonus. I know Jeff's story. I know all kinds of stories. So any situation that we're in, we can share a story, and somebody will be invited to hear more, okay? August of 2002, I had just started playing my senior year of baseball, and I almost passed out on the baseball field one afternoon. It was super hot out. I was taking products from this other company, had three letters in his name, okay? I walked into that store at the mall. I bought some products off the shelf for some 18-year-old kid, and he said, you should take this because this is going to help you do this. I was like, all right, give me some. You know, I didn't really care a whole lot. I got so overheated one afternoon that I almost passed out, and I'm like, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with supplements ever again. This is not for me. I don't want anything to do with it. Well, here's what happened. There's a lot of guys I was playing ball with that were kicking my butt on the field. Okay? They were younger than me. And so I was like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, why are you guys getting such good results in the weight room, and why is it? And that was translating on the field for them. And so I went to them and I said, what are you doing? They're like, oh, we're doing, and I thought at that point in time it was some of this stuff. Early 2000s, trust me, that was in Des Moines. That was available, okay? It still is. And I know I didn't want any part of that, but then they said, oh, I'm taking Advocare, I'm taking supplements. This stuff pre-workout, post-workout, it's awesome. I'm like, I checked out at that point, right? I think long story short, I got thrown in a car kicking and screaming one night. I went up to Ames, Iowa, and I met an Olympic wrestler named Chris Bono. Chris was an Olympic wrestler. He was also the assistant wrestling coach at the time at Iowa State. And he was doing a business opportunity meeting. He was just coming and sharing his story. Okay, he wasn't doing the business. He just had a friend that was doing a business opportunity meeting, and they said, Chris, come, and they packed the Ames library that night. Okay? I walked up to Chris afterwards, and I'm like, he was telling the story, and I'm like, that's great, Chris. You're wearing an Advocare shirt. How much are they paying you to tell me that you take products? He goes, not a dime. I go, really? He goes, yeah, they work for me, they're going to work for you. You never test positive, you'll never fail a P test, and they'll not harm you now or later. I was like, okay. I still thought I knew everything, so I went back and checked it out on the internet, right? A little archaic internet we had, couldn't find anything. So I got on products, loved them, day one. But then somebody said, well, you're a broke college student, maybe you could earn some income. So I got in the car one day and I went over to Lincoln, Nebraska, and I saw Joe Hadachek, and I saw Mark Lightgate, and a couple people that aren't around today, too bad for them. And they did a large training, right? It was like a 4-hour deal. I don't remember the name of it or anything. I drove home that night, had my parents' emergency credit card, and I'm an advisor. Did you get that part? I thought that was an emergency. I put $2,100 on my parents' credit card. I had 9 boxes show up on my dorm room floor. And back then, Spark tasted so bad, it was like ground up antibiotics. It was horrible. Like we used to say, well, you drink tequila, right, for the effect, not the taste. Well, that's what you do with that, Spark. You drink it for the effect, not the taste. So you think you got it bad now? I mean, it's amazing. We didn't have a 24-day challenge. There was no such thing as a 24-day challenge. We used to get people on M&S and Spark to get them to try to do the cleanse. We figured we'd give them some energy and get them all jacked up, and they'd listen to us and do the cleanse. Right? That's how we did it. So I knew that if I didn't move that product in a short amount of time, my dad would kill me. I knew it. He's got a little bit of a temper, right, Katie? He did. Doesn't anymore. But you don't just put $2,100 on your parents' credit card and be like, cool with it. So that, again, was my training program. So I moved that product in 3 weeks. I showed up on his doorstep. I had cash because back then you couldn't really check your credit card statements online yet. So I knew that in that weekend that would come. It happened every month. So I had the cash. I gave it to him. I said, Dad, Monday or Tuesday, there's going to be buildings come in the mail. Here's the money for it. It's all good. He's like, what the heck did you... And I didn't ask him for money that month, right? They're like, what the heck did you do? I'm intrigued. Don't ever do it again. You have to advise him quickly, right? I got that story forever. So when you help you people get to advisor, it's really important. Okay? So we kind of did the business. We did it from 2002 to 2006. We never got very far. In fact, we never had a 1099 that was over $1,000 from Advocare. And we went to 13 success schools between 2002 and 2006. The last notes I have from Advocare, I was checking it out again, was January 2008 Cedar Falls Advo Bowl. That's the last notes I had from Advocare. There was nothing from 2006. That one meeting, the timing still wasn't right. Okay? I thought my plan was working, right? I was living life by circumstance. Amber and I got pregnant in 2004. Well, she did. I just helped in the process. Right? Put the cart before the horse a little bit. That was February 2004. We bought a house. April of 2004, Lily was born. We got married in August of 2004. Cart before the horse. My parents said, hey, maybe you need to get a real job. Because I was kind of doing Advocare. I was still kind of playing ball, and I was still kind of working this part-time gig and having a lot of fun. Right? But it was time to grow up. So I'm like, okay, Mom and Dad. They worked at a company, and they're both vice presidents there. So I said, maybe I'll just work at your company. So I got a job. I got my first real job, making $30,000. Okay? Life by circumstance, no intention whatsoever. Okay? Worked there. Wells Fargo called October of 2010. Right? December of 2010 or 2004, I started at Wells Fargo because they gave me the same salary plus opportunity for bonus. So I worked harder. I was like, well, okay, that better my situation. Well, I'll just go do that. Right? Made a little bit more money. No intention. Worked there for 4 years. Had nothing. Frustrated. Felt like a lion in a cage. Right? August 2008. It was like I started looking around the kind of beginning of 2008 and said, I got into. So my parents said, well, maybe you should check out financial advising because our financial advisor makes a lot of money and has a big house. I was like, well, I want a lot of money and I'd like to have a big house. I'll go talk to him. Again, no intention of anything, just moving from one thing to the next. Okay? August 2008, I started that. I went from a 6-figure income to 0 overnight. Nobody told me how to be a business owner. I had no clue. I got thrown in the wolves, no training hardly. If I was going to do something that was right for people, I'd make a heck of a lot less money. I wasn't about to do that because I just got done doing subprime mortgages for 4 years. 8 to 13% every single time. They're closer to 13 most of the time, right? I mean, it was crazy. I didn't want to do that anymore. I was glad to believe that was right. The only way I could, get paid more was to give people more credit cards. We pay them all off by putting on their house and then give them 5 more, and that's the only way we got paid. if you didn't get more products in their hand, then you get paid the big bonuses on the bigger stuff. I'm like, so I didn't want to do that anymore. Just the back of my mind, like, there's something wrong about this. So, 2 months later, stock market crashes, right? Nobody wants to invest money, especially with a new guy. I wasn't going to sell things to people that didn't need it, just to make money, right? What do? I'm not a quitter, I'm a fighter, right? This is what I'm going to do. I was not for life going to call back to Wells Fargo and talking to some of those guys and begging for my job back. That wasn't going to happen. The only thing I knew to do was to get some flow going was to rack up credit cards. Okay? That's how we were living. We were charging groceries and gas on credit cards. Man, it's painful, and I hate it, and we'll never go back there. I just every day it burns in my gut still, and it drives me today because of that. We got to $42,000 in credit card debt. I turned 30 years old. It was 2010, and enough was enough. I was borrowing money from my parents. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. I remember pounding my fist on the desk one day at my office, so mad because I got turned down for another credit card, a couple $1,000 line to be able to keep things going for another month. I had it. My dad in late 2009 said, "Scott, here's a couple $100 extra this month because I want you to get your wife a Christmas present." I'm like, "No, Dad, we decided we're not getting each other Christmas presents this month." "Son, get your wife a Christmas present." When is enough enough? Right? You have to do something different. I'm still stubborn enough to not do anything. That was like December of 2009. And you had your first spark in like March of 2010, right? Something like that. January, because Drew Reeves was on TV, and it wasn't by chance. I just said, "Nick, you should try Spark." I had no idea why. I just saw he said, "Well, if you send me a box, I'll sign up." "Oh, I'll send you a box. Put it on the credit card, right?" Mom and Dad might have paid for that box, you know. And Nick got started shortly after. In fact, he started doing this. He went to his first successful in August of 2010, and I didn't go. I said, I'm not. I pumped him on it. Anybody ever not going to successful? I was a sponsor, and he went, and I didn't. Right? October 2010, all in. Have to do it. I knew these people were making great money. I knew they were living life on their terms. I knew some of these people were. Joe Hadachek said, "Look, follow the success system." And I argued with Joe. He's making $80,000 a year. I said, "Joe, that can't be it. You have to tell me the secret. I'm going to do this. I have to do this. I got to make money now. I got to help people now." He goes, "Look, dude," he said just like that. "Look, dude, follow the success system." I'm like, "All right, I'm going to prove you wrong, or I'm going to prove you right. You're either wrong or you're right, Joe. And I'm going to trust when you get 80 grand, I'm making zero, that you're right." So we went to work. I remember calling up Nick. Nick was kind of on the fence still after that. I said, "Nick, I don't need you to do this, man, but I'm doing it. I apologize for not going to school. I'm going to be a man of my word now, and we're doing it." Nevitt says yes. Brett McDonough says yes. There was a couple other people. Joe Conkey said yes. There was, and you guys don't even know that name. He quit. There was another person that said yes. They quit. Okay, a couple years ago. But they all said yes in October 2010, and we all of a sudden we started helping people, getting people on products. We were texting each other, boom, when something good happened. Right? Right? We'd send somebody a Spark and we'd say, boom. We'd get somebody into that magazine, boom. We're like, "What happened?" You're like, I just kind of, "Scott, what happened?" You know, it was so cool. And then somebody signed up and we were like, "Whoa, we're excited up." And I got a check in the mail. In the first 90 days, we made $2,500. I was like, holy smokes. People want these products. These guys are doing something too. They're actually doing it. Then I started to believe a little bit more. Do you remember when I pinned silver? We used to have brainstorming meetings at Granite City on Friday afternoons. Right? It was right before the first of the year of 2010. And I was like $95 or $99.75 in override. I go, Scott, you gotta go home and order pizza Spark, man. I'm gonna hit silver. You go out in my car tonight, my silver pin is still sitting in my dash. Okay? That's the first point. I started believing in us, believing in the team, and believing in everybody else. We had some people going our direction for the first time. I saw a way out of that mess. My kids deserve more. My family deserves more. I got us in that mess, no one else. People need to start hearing that message in this country like nobody's business. You put yourself in a mess, you need to get yourself out. Right? It's not for anybody else to do. It's not, you shouldn't be worried about the government doing it for you, or nobody else. You need to get yourself out of the situation. So we went to work even more in 2001. Actually, let's tell the van story. So we go to Success, everybody backed out except for Nick and Scott and my wife. My wife was 7 months pregnant, and I got this 15-passenger van because all these people were going with us. Right? I ended up taking somebody else's team down there. Sandy Liggett and about 5 other people, and Scott and I and my pregnant wife. I was so fired up, we got there in like 4 hours. People didn't want to go, whatever, Scott, let's do it. Driving down there, Nick shows up, and those two stay in the room together, and they've been great friends ever since. I don't know what happened, but you know what? You know what? We got this tight bond, and it's so special. Here's what happened on the way home. It all changed. Boom blog, Boom Line, the Boom Nation, all of it was born in that van ride on the way home. We're calling up Nick on the way home. Nick, what do you think about this idea? Is it cool? Like we're gonna do this. Boom Nation, you know, we got a team, you know, we got all these people, we gotta get them signed up now. It was unbelievable. We were at silver at that successful February 2011. 2 months later, we finished 6-star. You hit silver not long after. You were silver not long after, right? Got some momentum going. 6-star in 2 months. Because we believed and we worked harder. We went to every stinking meeting. So when I stand here and I saw 3 of you last Friday night, it fires me up. Because it's your family on the line and you weren't there. And we've gone to every single meeting we can go to make sure that we're the best and to have you guys be a part of this opportunity. To learn. We drove all over this state. And we still do. To learn, to be better, to help you more. And that's the power of this team. Is you've got veterans like that. And I'm forever indebted to them. You know, it's been a blessing to have these guys around. You know? It's a blessing to you to have them around too. Okay? So we made $51,000 that year. And that was a huge shot in the arm, but it didn't solve the problem. Right? The next year, I shut off the Minnesota Twins, 2012. I watched them every single night. Because it was more important to my family for whatever reason. I was playing professional softball, I thought. That was family time. Like, are you kidding me? I quit playing professional softball. All my buddies were so mad. They're like, what are you doing? We ain't playing softball anymore. What doesn't move my family anywhere? Well, fine, I'm still going to drink beer and play softball, whatever. Great, you do that. But I got to pay off debt. I want life on my terms. You know? So we tripled our income that year. We went from 50 to 150 in 1 year, 2012. Here's the thing. I didn't start using the debt buster system until the following year. How dumb was that? I had all this debt sitting there, and this money starting to come in, and we're starting to do things, and I'm not doing what the principal said. We got to get serious with this, right? So last year we made 260-some thousand, and we're on pace to do 400,000 this year. Okay. 2 months ago was the first time we were credit card debt free. We have no student loans. We have a rental property that had really nicely cash flowed, and we have a 0% car. I wake up every morning. I help my wife get the kids ready for school. I watch them get on the bus or walk to school now. I watch them walk to school every single day. Okay. We have cash flow you cannot believe the amount of people coming at us wanting money for something right now. Okay? We have the cash flow to support the things we're passionate about. We go to fundraising things and we're the only people there that are our age. Right? My dream is to have a building that leaves a legacy at Grandview with my name on it. So my thought is that I had life insurance. I have a piece of my life insurance coined to go to that. And I was mowing the yard today, I'm like, why am I waiting for that? Why don't I do more now, and so my kids can actually see it when I'm alive and we can celebrate that together, versus someday down the road. That's what Mark Lightgate did for me on Friday night. I'm like, well, shoot, if I could just do half of that next year or 2 years from now, maybe I could do that a little bit sooner. And then we'll say, we don't know how long we're going to be here. We might get taken out tomorrow. You might die in a car crash tomorrow, or whatever. Something might happen to you. I just heard of a guy Friday night that his wife died, and she was the breadwinner, and he never paid a bill, and she didn't have life insurance. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So why not do it today? Why are we waiting for some of this stuff? Why don't we have a sense of urgency to pay down debt, to spend more time with our family, to leave a legacy and do some of the things that should be on your 100-thing list that we did the first night out here? I don't tell you all this to brag about me. I tell you because we believe more, we work hard, and we care about this team and your goals, and that's why we get up every day too. That 100 silver thing is not about us. It's not about these guys. It's about all of us rising together. Right? There's room for rubies. There's room for emeralds. There's room for more golds. There's a lot of rooms. There's a lot of positions available if you want to have it. Because Humphrey Pfister said something in the Ruby Retreat. He goes, you know what, Scott? With Advocare, you can have a great marriage. You can have a great life. You can have great finances. You can have all these different things if you just discipline for a couple of years to do things right to help people. You can have everything you ever wanted to have if you become the person that you need to become. Right? I've been in your shoes. I'm still in your shoes every day. This thing frustrates me every single day sometimes. It's one of those things that you'll never figure Advocare out. There's no secret formula. You have to believe, you got to show up, and you got to work hard. And that doesn't mean that you have to do it 15 hours a day. It can be 15 minutes a day, but if you're doing this 15 minutes a day, it better be the best darn 15 minutes you've got all day when it comes to doing some Advocare. So what else is it going to be? If it's not Advocare, what else is it? Right? Hope that helps you. And every day we wake up and we talk a lot about how to make things better for you, like the Boom Nation, that page and the mobile app, the website, and all that stuff is just to try to help you do this maybe a little bit faster than we did. There's a person right now that got to diamond in 9 months. She chased the rookie bonus. I know for a fact that's what she did. She chased it like crazy. She worked hard. She believed it. Why not? One of the best things that ever happened to me, I've been 6-star, and John Cordelli got me on the phone with a guy named Todd Varvel. Todd Varvel was a basketball coach and teacher, and he got me on the phone with him, and Todd said, well, hey, I got the diamond in a year. I'm like, and at that point, it had only been a few months. I was like, if that guy could do it. No disrespect, the guy's amazing. But I feel like I have some business sense. We live in a town where there's nobody doing it yet, right? Like, if he could do it, why can't I do it that fast? So that set the tone, set the pace. You know what I'm saying? So it took us 2.5 years, so what? Right? What happens if somebody would have just shared products with me? What happens if I would have just shared products with the ratio? How many people make that? What happens if I would have just shared with the ratio, the products? Yes. I will tell you.
It's a short story.
739.
Scott did share a product with me.
Yeah.
I was doing Goals of Ocean, which is a spin-off of Pearls. I was 5 weeks in, and I actually had a chance to win it, so I wanted to get good protein. He's like, oh, I can just that. I said, all right, good, I want to talk to him. Hands it to me, he says, all right, that'll be $80. I looked at it, I gave him $80, and I thought in my head, I will never buy this stuff again in my life. Because we didn't talk discounting. We didn't talk support system at all, seriously. And we just continued, we're softball players.
We were.
Never talked again.
Here's our picture.
Until when he called in January, my wife had just gone through probably her 4th or 5th battle with kidney stones, and we started to connect it back to Diet Coke. He said, Nick, I can help her get off the Diet Coke. I said, nail me a box. That's how it all started for us.
So I was talking about not intentional, just kind of moving one thing to the next. Can anybody relate to that? Move from one thing to the next. We got intentional in October of 2010. And we've been laser focused and intentional since that day about our future. Right? So why not? 69 distributors is all we have. Personally signed up 69 distributors. Okay? How many you got? How many people in your family?
1,000.
This number's not that next to me. So maybe we have way more than that then. I think I said the last time I pulled numbers or something like that. Led to 3,500 families. What happens if I want to just share products with these guys? What happens if somebody just shared products with you? And they never tell you that you could affect thousands by affecting a few people. Where else have you heard that? Jim Rohn CD this week? The Bible? Jesus had 12 disciples. He only had a few years. And he affected millions. Right? Affect the few, you can affect the masses. You have the ability to do something great here. To be a part of something great. A part of something that's way bigger than you. That's why it's so important to share products and the income and not judge for somebody else. We talked about this a lot in the last couple of weeks. I know that. But I also have to help you understand this. You got to share both. To share the menu, let them pick. Okay? Don't rob somebody else from their destiny because you're too afraid to share both of them. All right, so zero to silver to diamond. Anybody want to see that? What time we got?
18 minutes.
Focus. All right, so your advisor. Here's the content. Does everybody get retail sales? You make 40% off. You buy it, you get it. You sell $100. You pay $60. You make $40, right? Wholesale commission. So I'm gonna start moving to wholesale commission. If you're at 40, you sign somebody up, you're gonna make the difference. Okay? You're at 40, they're at 20, it's called mailbox money. Or direct deposit money. Right? If they're at 25 and you're at 40, you make the difference. Okay? Number 3 is override. If I'm at 40 and they're at 40, okay, there's no difference in discount, right? So if I can help you understand override and leadership bonus, you'll understand like why this thing can be so powerful, what sets us apart from every other company. Okay? We have 2 forms of residual income. So 40%. So now instead of making wholesale commission, you're going to earn what's generally going to be a smaller percentage of a much greater number. Okay? So now to collect overrides, does anybody know how do you get overrides? What you personally have to do. Again, work program. Okay? You can't just sign the next Rockstar up and then they go bananas and you do nothing and get paid. That does not work. Here's why. To be eligible for your override, you are eligible for it when your PGV. Does anybody have a question on what PGV means? Okay, personal volume, So you, if you order, Kylie, or anybody that orders that's not a $500 order, so if they place a $300 order, that goes towards your personal volume. Okay? So $100 from you, $300 from somebody else, $400 personal volume. Group volume, PGV, group, is anybody that places them. If you sign somebody up, Kylie, and they do a $1,500 order, that goes under group volume. It's just a way to kind of separate it, so you can see that somebody's working towards advisor. They're in that advisor factor. What's your PGV at that point?
If they order $1,500?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nope. Your PGV, you placed 300, somebody else placed 300, you did 100, there's 400, and then somebody placed a $1,500 order. They're not advisors, right? That's $1,900 in PGV. So when you say the 3K PGV club that we always put out on the champion report, that's what that means. Okay? 3K and above. Your goal, if you want to build this, to be 3,000 PGV every period, junior recruits. You want to go faster, double it. Anybody else got any questions on PGV? So to be eligible for override, your PGV, if it's at 500, you get 5% of this person and anybody that got signed up. Okay? If your PGV is at 750, you get 6%. If it's at 1,000, this is where you're maximizing your PGV, where you're maximizing your override, and you're eligible for leadership bonuses. Okay? Anybody ever see the business volume on your computer? Anybody ever? I mean, people always ask, what's business volume? Doesn't matter. I don't even look at it. I really don't care. I really don't. That makes no difference to me. But where it comes into play is on calculating override. Okay? So it's not just, I'll go over here. If this person right here, this is you, and you have Sally. And Sally's an advisor, right? And Sally signs up Sue, and Sue does an advisor order. Okay? So you both are advisors, so you're going to collect override off her and a leadership bonus. Okay? So how I calculate that, because you have PGV of 1,000, I'm going to take hers divided by 2, 3,000 divided by 2 equals 1,500, right? Times 0.07, because that's my override, equals $105. Make sense?
So you get your override and your leadership?
I'll get into leadership here in a second.
Oh, so this is the override.
This is silver right here. Okay? Because you got an advisor. She's already an advisor. She went last period. Now she put in an advisor and her rookie bonus. Okay? But because you're at 1,000 PGV, because you signed up somebody else to start the process, right? Like you're on products or you bought some products, whatever. Whatever your PGV is, right? Okay? So you take 3,000, you divide, this is just how you calculate override. Divided by 2 equals 1,500 times your percentage equals, this is your override amount. 105 means it's over 100. $100 in override means you get the silver bonus. Okay? So that's where this comes into play. The leadership is an additional 3 to 19.5% additional on top of all of that. It's just another column on the paycheck. So if you were looking at my paycheck today, the bulk of it comes from, like last period, the override was $4,800. So this number right here is $4,800. Okay? My leadership bonus was $9,450 something. Okay? Because I was getting an extra leadership bonus on top of every single order in the entire Move Nation, based on what I did that period. Okay?
What do you mean based on what you did that period?
Based on how many legs of business we had wide to be able to do the different leadership places. So remember on the income disclosure it has 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and 19. Should probably see that on the screen. Right? I'm getting an extra 3% because of this on the leadership column. If you're at, well, let's draw it out. If you're at gold, let's say you have a rock star named Bob, and Bob does $9,000 in orders that period. Okay? So, who's close? 12,000. If you do that, that's $515 in override. You do both advisors. Right? 15,000 of orders right here, underneath of advisors. That's a gold bonus. That's an extra 2% on all of that. Silver would be 3. Because of that, that's 5 now. The 3-star gold, if you have another advisor named Sue, and Sue does 3,000, she puts in an advisor as well. That's an extra 2% as well. So there's 7% off everybody. That's 3-star gold. Star leg is because you have at least $3,000 of orders in each period. Yes.
Can you show how significant the leadership bonus can be, the difference between $499 and $500? Or silver bonus or gold bonus?
It's significant. Because we're a product-driven company, right? So if your override equals all this, what's Matt saying? The override is $499, so if this was $499, okay, you'd miss an extra 2% leadership bonus on every single order. That's significant. 2% on 15,000. Right? If that's 500, you're going to get an extra 2%. Because it's the gold bonus. 3. Everybody know, does a star leg make sense to you now? We talk about 3-star gold. Okay, a star leg is at least $3,000. This is a leg, right? Sally is for Katie. Sally is a distributor. Sally is a leg of business to you. Bob is a leg of business to you. There's 2 legs, right? Sue is another leg of business to you. That's 3 legs. 3,000 star leg because it's over $100 in override generated to you, Katie. Make sense? There's 12,000. Well, that's like $400 in override to you. That's over 100, so that's a star leg. Okay. Sue is $3,000. That's over $100, and this leg alone, that's another star leg. 3-star gold. You have over $500 in override, and you have 3 legs, of which at least $100 of override is coming from those different legs. Ask now.
So what's silver? That's great, but that's gold. What's silver? What's the first step?
Just this right here.
Just that first
Yep.
Okay.
Tiffany's advisor. Tiffany signs up Susie. Susie goes advisor. You have your 1,000 PGV. You're going to hit silver.
Now, does that have to be ongoing? Like, can you lose silver if Tiffany's...
Product-driven company. So if the orders aren't happening, you're not getting paid. Right? So I'll put it to you like this. If we were to walk away today, if Amber and I were to walk away from that, just I'm done. I'm going to I looked at some property bullies today. So watching Saints for a little bit and had this commercial about bullies. Buybullies.com. And if we were just to move there and never do Advocare again, right? Probably would be 9-star emerald. That means we'd have 9 legs of business wide that would star every single period no matter what we did. We didn't do everything ever again. Okay? If we work it and we continue to help, we can solidify so diamond will just happen every single period no matter what we ever did. Right? If I work it now, we get paid diamond. If I don't work it, I get paid 9-star. And for me personally, my goal was to hit platinum in January. Okay? That would, to me, that solidifies diamond. walk away business. It's diamond every single time, no matter what happens, whether I work it or not. Right? That's not going to happen. I'm not walking away ever because I'm called to do this. But if those orders aren't happening, there's nothing to calculate it on, so you're not going to get paid it. Right?
But once you've earned it and paid it, you don't have to requalify again. When the volume is there, then you will.
Anytime you hit that particular bonus, you get paid it. To get the hardware from the company to do silver, you've got to do this 2 times in a row. You get your silver pin, we put you on the website, and you celebrate you, we're part of the first 100. Right? But if you don't do anything the following, that third period, you're not going to get paid the silver bonus. You got to work. Yes, ma'am.
So like, short story, we need to be doing 1,000 PPG ourselves. We need to have an advisor, and we need to help them get an advisor.
Your
And then
goal,
we're at silver.
your goal means real simple. Every period is 3,000 PGV, 2 new recruits. Bare minimum is 1,000. My goal every period is 3,000 PGV and 2 new recruits. Never changes. So then we teach everybody else the same, right? You bring somebody in the business, and we're working through the success system, their goal is 3,000 PGV, 2 new recruits. Right? Okay? So this is, everybody clear on how silver happens? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what reports do I look at to see them $1 wage?
Override leg report. I look at about 3 reports every single day. Let me tell you how many times. Override leg report. Override earners report, because I can see every single person's override. New distributors. Those are my 3 gauges every day. Are people getting paid? That's the override earners. I want to make sure people are getting paid where they're at, right? I want to know that recruiting's happening, like we're talking to people. Right? If there's something wrong there, then we've got a problem. It means we're not advancing this thing for people. An override leg report is kind of a gauge on our orders happening across the board for everybody. Right? Those are the 3 I would focus on. But none of it matters if we don't talk to people. So everybody knows how to get silver. Speak now. I guess we'll ask me later, but I much prefer it is ask. Because if you're thinking of somebody else about this, any advisor helping them earn a rookie bonus, just help them do 3,000 PGD. Do a mixer for them, do a 20/40 challenge, something like that, right? So then I just showed you 3-star gold. Okay? So to get the diamond, all you got to do is do this. You just do it 3 more times. Right? It's 12 legs wide, of which each leg is at least $100. So when we pinned diamond, we had probably 9 or 10, probably 9 legs that were, probably 6 legs that were $500 in override or more. Another 3 that were probably like $200 to $300 in generating override. And then the other 3 would probably just barely lift up, limped across to $100. Right? They're probably like 101 something. But that was a star leg, so we had 12 legs wide. That's diamond. That also means it's $4,000 in override. So 3-star gold to ruby, you're basically doubling your business. 3-star gold is $15,000 in orders, 3-star legs. Ruby is times it by 2, $60,000 of order, or $30,000 of orders, 3-star legs. 6-star ruby is $30,000 of orders and 6-star legs. That's how you get the extra bonuses. Emerald, 6-star legs, you double the orders, 30 to 60,000 in a period. Okay. The average ruby check is what, $4,000 to $7,000, somewhere in that range. Oh, on a pay period basis. So yeah, probably 3,200. About $3,000 every 2 weeks is a Ruby paycheck. Okay? Emerald is, on a monthly basis, is between 12 and 15,000. Emerald is $60,000 of orders and 6 legs. 9-star Emerald is what? $60,000 orders and how many star legs? 9-star Emerald. 9-star legs, right? That's probably around the $20,000 range more per month. Diamond is double the Emerald, right? It's $120,000 every 2 weeks of orders and 12-star legs. Average $33,000 a month right now. So that's what Diamond check would look like. Our first ones weren't like that, but it's probably 25 or so. And as it continues to build, more orders, more money, right? Questions? Everybody's crystal clear on how to get it silver. Pay plan standpoint. Okay? So the goal is the next 30 to 60 days. If you don't have an advisor yet, we need to get you an advisor, right? And we need to help them earn a rookie bonus. Okay? And once they go advisor. And if you have one advisor, it might be a little more difficult to get silver. If you have 2 advisors, it might be a little easier because you got 2 people trying to do the 3,000, right? One does 1,500, the other does 1,500, that's 3,000, you're an advisor. Okay? If you have 3 advisors, each one does 1,000, so that's how we did it. It was you, it was Nick, it was Nevik, it was Brett when we pinned it. Between the 3 of them, there was $3,000 orders out of those 2 periods. Okay? But you work with 3 people at a time, basically. So I would tell you too is that who are the 3 main. You don't have to make this huge list like we did the other night. Just pick out the top 3 and let's go talk to them. Just talk to a few. Let's see how that goes. We'll talk a little bit more. But we had lunch for dinner that Saturday night, that first successful February, across the street from the crappy hotel we all stayed at. And we sat at that table outside and let the dancer ate over it. It wasn't that kind of. It was like a Western bar place, and they had food and so I just want to make sure we're clear. I don't want to leave anything without. So we were having dinner out there, and I said, I remember talking to this guy, like, who are your 3 people? Remember that conversation? Like, who are the 3 people you're working with when we get back? So we started working with them when we got back. Right? Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering, so if you're saying like the 3 advisors and they each do like 1,000 PGP, how transparent are you with them? When you're like telling them your goals? Like, do you want them to know that they need to be getting that so that you can? Because
no, I don't think you win here by. I don't. I've never called anybody up and said, place an order and get Starlight. Right? You place an order because I want to get silver. I'm going to hit silver. When we were running for Diamond, I did send an email to about 3 guys and said, hey, I want to make sure we're clear. This is not about us. You kind of know what the situation is, though. If there's anything I can do to help you over the next couple of days, you're the last 3 legs to start for Diamond. Right? Yeah. And what that could do for the team. From the team standpoint, that was massive. We never had that. So it was about them at all times, but they also want to do it. They care if people want to help. Yeah. You know? So how you win here is how can I help you? What can we do to help you today? Does that help you in the end? Absolutely. But if you get them a win, who wins? You both do. Right? Have I ever told you guys best numbers? I'm going to have. I'd love it for you guys to have 3,000. I'd love to hit your goals. Whatever, you know. I'd love for you guys to be rookie. I'd love for everybody to be rookie. We all win when that happens. Right? It's not about me. Good question. A lot of other companies like that. In fact, we have crazy. We talked to this gal. She's huge with this other company. She was, and she actually said she was at the top level. She was making $10,000 a month, and that's what they did. Is that they all churned orders. They placed orders on different people's accounts. She's like, I couldn't keep up with it. I got tired of it. I said, well, what did you make last month? $200. All that work couldn't last, right? Well, I'm doing it for the right reasons. Meet her tomorrow. We're going to show her the right way. Something stable. She builds it instead. Right? Yeah.
I think that's a great question though too. You'll always, like, Scott's not asking all of us to read out into groups.
Well, I was just wondering because, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone wants to hit those goals. So I was just wondering if there's like certain ways that you approach a situation to like encourage someone to, because if you're not hitting your goals, like then this team wouldn't be good.
Well, if you set the expectation that you're new, you said I want to do this business. You know, I got these results I want to get. 3,000 PGB, 2 recruits, right? Every single period, but the absolute minimum is 1,000. You've already set the standard of what it should be. So then you just can come back to that and say, hey, remember, talk about this, and you start this on a Thursday, not a Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Start it on a Thursday, say, hey, remember where our goals are, I see that you're not there yet. Who can we talk to between now and then the period to get you closer to your goals? Knowing that it's also in the first quarter for you. So your goals are too, but the only way you get there is through them.
Right.
So
I'm just taking virgins because I would personally sponsor them, right? Okay. So if they want 3-star gold next year at this time, I know the way that they're going to get there is to talk to people and build a team. And that means you've got to have 3,000 PGV and 2 new recruits every period. Does that mean that's a star leg for me? Absolutely it does. Is that a win for both of us? Absolutely it is. Okay? But to where they want to go, that's what that 3,000 consistently done or trying to be at over time will get you.
Let the team members know what your goals are as well.
It's just a reflection of where they're going. You know, Diamond was the team thing. It was also saying, look, if I can do it, you guys can do it. These guys are Diamond. I know they will. Each and one of you can be if you want to be. I know that. I know that they're going to. If I didn't do it, then they were definitely going to get it. I mean, they could have, but at least I showed them how to do it, right? Paved the way and said, look, here's how you can do what I did. Raise the lid. Right? These guys are, 6-star and Emerald's not too much further down the road. If they can do it, you can do it. And it's called raising the lid. Questions up? Any other questions? All right, guys, this is the end of Silver School. Okay? There's really no more homework. Again, we're going to be praying for you. We want to help you. There's people, there's processes in place. Use your leadership. Keep that why in front of you. I hope you understand large events tonight. Matt, there's next Friday, there's a women's only deal right here. When are we going to have some information about that? Okay. Yeah.
When will you have the next Silver School?
That's a good question. I'm kind of working on the calendar, but sometime in October. So here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start working on that. So if I were you, I would identify some folks that you'd like to have go through Silver School. Is this beneficial for you? Yeah? You'd recommend it? You'd want one of your teammates to go through this? Okay. Then here's what we got to do. I'm not making an exception on this, period. I can't get them to silver if they're not advising, they don't have an ad donation ticket, period. Not going to happen. They will not get into Silver School. So I want to try to look at the calendar and see if we can give it a little bit of time to get those folks into. It'll probably be after this 3 weekend for sure. Somewhere in the middle of October, do 3 weekends in a row again. Okay? So that gives people this period, next period, probably to get to advisor if they're working themselves there. Right? They get their Advent ticket. So we'll do it again soon. And the idea is if you get the silver by the end of October-ish, then we're going to run a Ruby boot camp to help go from silver to Ruby. This is high level tonight. I don't expect any of you to know about 3-star gold and get out there. I mean, do it as fast as you can. But silver is the first one you're going to take off. Once we get to there, there's other things we can talk about. That's why this is so much about the why versus the hows. Right? Awesome. It's been a pleasure being here and helping, and thanks to you guys, Matt and Julie, for place, and Sarah and all you guys showed up every single time an hour early to help get things set up. I appreciate that. And the leaders that showed up on the different weeks to help out too. And it takes an army to pull stuff like this. Isn't always easy, so pull it all off. So I appreciate you being here. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, I'll stick around for a few minutes. Hope to see you real soon at an event and going through the system. Nothing more I love than wins and success. I love it. I get fired up when somebody hits silver. Somebody from this group hits silver, I'm going to be all jacked up. Probably driving down the road looking at it, my phone, and I'll probably get all jacked up as that happens. So I tend to get a little fired up when somebody hits silver. So especially if it's somebody that we know that just went through this process. So the goal is the next 30 to 60 days is if you want it bad enough, let's go to work. All right? Mascot that in and out. In and out is get people there. Like we want to pack that place like we've never packed the morning for that company, October 27th. So, all right, guys. Good night. God bless.
Thanks, Scott. The event Friday night, it's ladies only, fit and fabulous. We'll do a Candy 24 workout. We'll sample healthy treats made with Advocare products. We'll learn about healthy eating and fat burning in a Nutrition 101 mini session. Hear stories about women just like you who struggled and conquered and overcame weight and finances. Door prizes and giveaways. An event like this is a very user-friendly way to say, hey ladies, come on, let's do this. It's this Friday from 6:30 to 8:30. 6:30 to 8:30. Still have some of your night left, especially if you are working with a younger crowd and they're like, oh, I don't want to waste my Friday night. And maybe that's not the person to bring anyway, but I asked you to try to
Yep. Real nice photo of it.
free prizes and workouts. Bring anyone you want. There you go. You're welcome.